On to the June 13, 2019 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Ms. Gray, Mr. Margraff.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
No. Yeah, we're going to defer May 23rd.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You gonna say it? Do you have to say it or no?
Oh, approval of minutes of meeting of May 23rd, 2019.
I'm going to defer the reading of those minutes.
And I'll concur. Correspondence, item A. Correspondence received from LTS Managed Technical Services, LLC, requesting permission to place underground fiber optic cable on Columbia Avenue and 169th Street to Columbia Avenue and 177th Street to 177th Street to Northcott Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Engineering Department's reviewed this and recommend a Board of Works approval.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to recommend that we approve it.
And I will concur with that. Item B, correspondence received from Mr. Joseph Battagliaco requesting permission to replace existing stone, wire, and concrete from the sidewalk to the street on the driveway at 7523 Jackson Avenue.
The Engineering Department has scrutinized this report, and we concur and ask for your approval.
Nice, Steve. Nice. My recommendation is we approve the request.
And I will concur with that. Item C, correspondence received from American Surveying and Engineering, PC, requesting permission to perform test holes at several locations in the city on behalf of NICD to determine utility locates and elevation.
Last week, the Engineering Department met with the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District with regard to certain boring locations of utilities to identify any potential conflicts. And we have worked with the company to schedule those over the next week or so. And there is one traffic lane restriction on Holman Avenue near the water tanks near Michigan. And we would ask the board review, or approve the work to be done.
Okay. I recommend that we approve the request from American Surveying and Engineering.
And I'll concur. Item D, correspondence received from Reith Riley Construction Company, Inc., requesting single-lane closure on State Road 312, Chicago Street, overhead toll road structure from approximately June 17, 2019 through June 21st, 2019.
Engineering Department has reviewed this request. This contractor is working on behalf of the Indiana Toll Road. They are, this is the second phase in preparation of the second phase of the work that's being done on the toll road through Hammond. They are just simply asking for lane restrictions to do evaluations of the existing bridge, the toll road bridge that crosses Chicago Street. We would ask for your approval.
Okay. I recommend we approve the request from Reith Riley Construction.
And I'll concur. Item E, correspondence received from IIC requesting permission to interrupt traffic at the intersection of Calumet Avenue and Conkey Street on June 18, 2019 to accept delivery of 2 bridge sections for the Erie-Lackawanna Trail over Calumet Avenue and Conkey Street.
This is the pedestrian bridge at Calumet and Conkey. That it's a city project, but it's being done through the federal aid process through NDOT. There are 2 bridge sections that are being delivered next Monday for setting on Tuesday. We will need some assistance from EMA and police. I have advised Lieutenant Vicari of the matter. There will be some lane restriction, basically right-hand lane restriction, so northbound for a short period, southbound for a short period for the standing of the vehicle, and then at 9:30 on Tuesday, they're going to walk the crane across Calumet Avenue after they set the first bridge section to the opposite side of Calumet Avenue. So we need EMA and PD support for the 2 to 3 hours of Tuesday morning. city project.
Yeah, I'll work with Pat and we'll get on it for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I recommend that we approve the request from ICC.
And I'll concur.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Item F, correspondence received from NDOT advising that the Calumet Avenue Bridge over the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad and Straight Street will be closed on June 12, 2019 and June 13, 2019.
Yes,
For
sir.
pouring the deck on the northbound side of the road.
Yes, sir. So this request came in on Friday. I apologize for its lateness. They did talk about closing the road Wednesday and Thursday. They deferred because of the weather yesterday, so it's being closed today and tomorrow for a bridge deck pour on the north half of the northbound lanes. They will reopen the roadway to one lane each way following late Friday. And so we would just suggest that you take this as a matter of record, rather, because they've already started the work and it is an NDOT project.
Yeah. We will just acknowledge the fact of what their request is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item G, correspondence received from Beam Longest Neff requesting permission to conduct site soil borings on city right-of-way on parcels 134 and 174 in July of 2019.
Similar to item C, the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District, or NICD, has certain parcels that they need to collect soil borings on. These are actually parcels, not rights-of-way, just for clarification. And they have asked permission to collect those. I have submitted that to Corporation Council because it is property owned by the city. We would recommend approval of this action.
Okay.
Any issues? Okay. I recommend that we approve the request from Beam Longfest Neff.
It's G, yes, sir.
And I'll concur. Item H, correspondence received from Cellular Plumbing requesting permission to perform work on June 7, 2019.
Obviously, this is after the fact.
Yes.
We just wanted to make it a matter of record for the Board of Works. Yeah, the work's been completed. Thank
All right,
you.
we'll acknowledge that. Item I, change order number 1 received from HWC Engineering with an increase in cost of $11,046.20 for additional sidewalk, curb, gutter, and ramps to accommodate ADA regulations in the 5th District Lighting Project, Marshall Avenue and Alexander Avenue.
Engineering Department's reviewed and recommends approval of this change order. We have reviewed it with Councilman Werpel, so you'll notice that item O also includes the funding for that. This was additional work that was determined after design, but during the course of construction that needed to be done on the project. As I said, Councilman Werpel is aware of it, and we would ask your blessing on this matter.
Okay. I recommend that we approve the change order received from HWC Engineering.
And I'll concur.
Could I have some clarification on that? Is I and O the same request?
No.
Same amount?
I is the
amount,
change
yes.
order. O is the funding for the change order. Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, moving right along. Item J, facility encroachment agreement received from CSX Transportation, Inc.
This is an agreement that has been prepared by CSX. It relates directly to our Chicago Street Phase 1 project. As you know, that project runs from the state line at Gosland east to Sheffield, south to Marble Street. As you know, in that section, we cross the CSX. As part of the railroad coordination for the federal aid project, we need an encroachment agreement and funding to pay for the work that CSX would be required to do under their force account. And we have asked a Corporation Council to review this item, and I would defer to Mr. Smith.
So, big surprise, the railroad is being difficult. I placed a call into CSX's attorney down in Jacksonville, Florida yesterday. As the board's aware, It is a strong policy of this board and the city that contracts have to be signed by the other parties before they come before this board. CSX to this point is refusing to do so, even though it's their document. What we don't want to do is hold up the Chicago Avenue project. So I'm negotiating what I believe is a fair agreement, namely that, well, they wanted us to send the money too before they signed it, which, you know, go figure. So that's not going to happen. So what I've negotiated with them is that they need to, number one, say that the document as presented to this board will be the document they will sign, which I'm waiting for them to say that. And so my recommendation would be to have you approve it, to sign it, and then we'll get them to sign it as it is before you. There will be no changes. And then once all fully conformed, we will then send the check. So that'll be the procedure. I would recommend approval and signing it.
So pending the signature. Okay.
Just to add, in addition to what Attorney Smith has said, that I do have the checks. They have been written and cut by the Controller's Office. I have them. I will retain them until I get permission from Corporation Counsel to release those checks.
Okay. So my recommendation is to approve the encroachment agreement pending signature. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And it being unchanged,
Correct. Pending, you'll sign it and approve it, and then it will not be paid for until we get the exact document you have before you sign by CSX as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll concur with that. Item K, agreement between the City of Hammond, Indiana and the City of Whiting, Indiana in regard to repairs on 121st Street from Atchison Avenue to Indianapolis Boulevard and White Oak Avenue from 127th Street to 129th Street.
We would ask that you defer this action till next week, please.
Okay.
Need to give that date or no?
You want it to till the next meeting?
Yeah, the next meeting should be enough.
Okay. And my recommendation is we defer this to next week's meeting, which is June 20th, 2019.
And I'll concur. Item L, supplemental agreement number 1 with Nice Engineering, Inc. for various engineering services in the amount of $10,000.
We have an outstanding contract, a current contract with Nice Engineering to perform general engineering services. Particularly, this relates to the installation of stormwater control structures, commonly referred to as French drains, to alleviate standing water in the street and alley so that it doesn't flow into our storm sewer or combined sewer. So this is a request for $10,000. Each of the 5 affected district councilmen have agreed to this, and you'll notice that the next action, item M, will actually fund this work, and so we ask for your approval for item L, Nice Engineering, $10,000 various engineering services.
Okay, I recommend that we approve the supplemental agreement with Nice Engineering.
And I'll concur with that. Item M, correspondence received from Councilman Kalwinski, Emerson, Warple, Rakos, and Torres, each requesting $2,000 in gaming funds be allocated for 2019 various engineering services with Nice Engineering. All of the councilmen's requests have been signed. They've also been signed by the mayor.
And I request that we approve the councilman's requests.
And I will concur. Item N, correspondence received from Councilman Scott Rakos requesting $41,400 of gaming funds be allocated for a lighting design contract with HWC Engineering.
This is a bit of an interesting project. I'd just like to say just a couple of things, if you don't mind. We have reviewed this contract, and we recommend its acceptance. Councilman Rakos, as you know, and Councilman Werpel have worked cooperatively together on a number of matters, and in this case, this is one of them. HWC Engineering is actually the 5th district consultant, and obviously Councilman Rakos is the 6th district councilman, and so it appears that he's funding work to be done it's actually a common street. It's Grand Avenue, the southern section of Grand Avenue, north of 177th. They have worked cooperatively to make this project happen, and Councilman Raycos has graciously offered to pay for the design services for this work, and that's what this action is, and we would recommend approval.
Okay, my recommendation is that we accept Councilman Rayco's request.
And I'll concur. Oh, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Warple requesting $11,046.20 of gaming funds be allocated for change order number 1 for the Alexander Avenue and Marshall Avenue lighting project. The request has been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
And we talked about this earlier, Dean did, so I'm going to recommend that we approve Councilman Warple's request.
And I'll concur. Item P, correspondence received from Councilman Mark Kowinski requesting $10,720 of gaming funds be allocated for the installation of French drains.
We've reviewed all of these requests. It's obviously the councilman's request of the next several items, and we would recommend their approval as they come forth.
All right, it's been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
My recommendation is that we approve Councilman Kowinski's request.
And I'll concur. Item Q, correspondence received from Councilman Dave Warple requesting $26,800 of gaming funds be allocated for the installation of French drains. His request has been signed by himself as well as the mayor.
My recommendation is we approve Councilman Warple's request.
And I'll concur. Item R, correspondence received from Councilman Bill Emerson Sr. requesting $26,800 of gaming funds be allocated for the installation of French drains. It's been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
I recommend we approve Councilman Emerson's request.
And I'll concur. Item S, correspondence received from Councilman Scott Rakos requesting $16,080 of gaming funds be allocated for the installation of French drains. Request is signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
I recommend we approve Councilman Rakos' request.
And I'll concur. Item T, correspondence received from Councilman Pete Torres requesting $5,360 of gaming funds be allocated for the installation of French drains. It's been signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
I recommend we approve Councilman Torres' request.
Item U, correspondence received from Councilman Pete Torres requesting $25,000 of gaming funds be allocated for summer park activities and improvements. This request is signed by the councilman as well as the mayor.
I recommend we approve Councilman Torres' request.
And I'll concur. Item V, bid award for the Ice Cube. Bid award for the Ice Cube to Goff Incorporated.
To be clear, this is the project that was brought forward last week that we asked for deferral on. This is it's not actually the Ice Cube, but it's the parking lot that is the city-owned work and in a cooperative agreement we have with the future owners of the Ice Cube to construct some small parking lots and some drives. This is a city-funded portion of the work entirely, includes water, main, storm, sewer, sanitary sewer, and parking lots and parking lot lighting. We asked that action be deferred last week as a result of some review of the bid. I had discussions with Mr. Smith regarding some concerns I had relative to some contract quantities that were included in the bid and some casual observations I noticed on the design plans. And so in order to proceed with the project and particularly meet the timing requirements that we have for the opening of the new facility, we ask that we award this contract to Goff at this time as the low, responsive, and responsible bidder, knowing that we expect to have a change order forthcoming relative to excavation quantities that will be negotiated between the city and the contractor. I think that's all I have for now. So we would recommend award of this contract at this time. Yes.
It's my understanding that engineering department also talked to chief of staff regarding this, and mayor's office has been made aware of this award as well. My only question to engineering was whether or not, given the low bid, who was the low bid originally, and then did that change once this discussion regarding quantities occurred, and the answer was no. So I feel comfortable that Goff remains the low, responsive and responsible bidder.
So we're just approving the bid.
I would just add, if I might, the funding for this project is coming from city sources. It's not identified in this agenda, but there was discussions by the mayor, the controller, and the chief of staff about where the funding would come from. So I'm a little unclear on that, but we originally expected this project to entirely come in at about 1.2 million. The bid open amount was around 850,000. You'll notice in a future action to recommend approval of a contract with the observation engineer that's coming up in later matters. So we would still be under the 1.2 million, even with the expectation of the change in quantity. So knowing that, we were doing our due diligence. We just wanted to make sure we were doing the right thing. And so we would, again, recommend approval for this action.
You did scrutinize quite well.
Thank you.
So you're wanting us to approve the bid award,
Yes, sir.
bottom line, okay?
Okay, that's my recommendation, that we approve the bid award for Ice Cube to Goff.
And I'll concur.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you. A. Item W, correspondence received from Corporation Counsel Kevin C. Smith regarding the city attorney. Is this acknowledgement, Kevin, or you want to speak to it?
I can. I don't want to be equivocal regarding this, so I'll be pretty clear here. This correspondence is to appoint Ms. Cantrell as the city attorney in the law department. She'll be working part-time on an hourly basis. And so I cleared this with Ms. Garay, who suggested this was the proper way to go through it because it will be on contract, won't be as a city employee.
Okay. So we're just acknowledging that, or we're not, are we approving that?
It'll be up for approval.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to recommend that we approve the correspondence received from Corporation Counsel Smith.
And I'll concur. Item X, correspondence received from Corporation Counsel Kevin C. Smith regarding additional representation of the city of Hammond.
Mr. President, this is just to formalize my appointment as Corporation Counsel. Ms. Garay, City Controller, suggested that this letter be sent just to formalize that arrangement. Again, it's just additional work by myself and my firm for the city as Corporation Counsel.
I'm going to recommend that we approve that correspondence also.
And I'll concur. Item Y, correspondence received from Mr. Brian L. Poland, Director of City Planning, requesting authorization to have a plat of survey prepared with payment to be made by home, parentheses, HUD funds, for 4311 Clark Avenue. City-owned property as United Neighborhoods, Inc. is looking to develop the property. Oh, hey, Mr. Poland.
Hi. It is a city-owned property right next to a parcel owned by United Neighborhoods, Inc. It is, we have a cooperative agreement with UNI as a community housing development organization, and they are intending to demolish the existing house and construct a new house. In order to prepare the site plan, we need to have the plat of survey done.
Okay, my recommendation is we approve the correspondence from Mr. Poland.
And I'll concur. Thank you, sir. Item Z, status hearing on property located at 618 119th Street.
The structure has been taken down, the foundation remains, we're waiting architectural plans. The rest of that foundation will come out once we approve the plans and the new foundation's layout is figured.
So do you need further status?
No. Well, it was a demo file, so yeah, we probably should have with the next demo hearing. And we'll see where we're at that point when, well, it's a file in there, so we should be able to have status for the next demo hearing. I'm not sure of that date yet.
So what are we doing, just acknowledging that till then?
We're acknowledging the status today, but we're not approving anything, right?
No, no, it's, I
Okay.
believe it was already affirmed.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
just a follow-up, okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
For that one. We'll acknowledge that. Item Z. Item double A, status hearing on property located at 7222 Jackson.
I am glad to say that we will prepare whatever's necessary to rescind this next Board of Works hearing. It's been a long situation, but it is occupied. The family that bought it has occupied it. Final inspections have been done. We'll rescind it possibly next week.
So this is acknowledgement as well on the status?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That has been a long time coming there. Item BB, correspondence received from Mr. Jose Jaramillo requesting rental registration hearings set on 2 dates, June 20, 2019 and July 11, 2019, be heard on one date for both properties. July 11.
Okay, I recommend that we set both of those hearings for July 11, 2019.
And I'll concur. Item CC, rental registration hearing on property located at 7536 Chestnut Avenue. Mr. Romero?
Yeah, well, we didn't know that the permit had a due date to get it. This is our first time that we rent a house. So when we went there, it was too late, so they sent us here.
Okay, 7536 Chestnut, Ms. Romero? Okay. When did you purchase the property?
2002?
2002. They did register for 2017 and 2018. This is one unit. They did not register for 2019. So what we're looking for is one unit for 2019.
And no problems, Amy. Okay, my recommendation is that we waive the late fee. You have to pay the one unit at a cost of $5, and you can do that at the conclusion of today's meeting if you stay around.
Okay.
Okay? That's my recommendation.
And I'll concur. You want to do this?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Item DD, rental registration hearing on property located at 6127 Columbia Avenue. First Church of the Nazarene is the owner.
Yes.
Can you please state your name and your address?
My name is Optimio Zavala. I am the registered agent for the church.
What we have here is 2 units. It was registered previous years, did not register for 2019 for both units.
So we're looking for 2019 only?
Correct.
Can you explain to the board what had happened there, sir?
Yes, I'm sorry that I said that I just overlooked the date. I came in the April 17th, which it was a little late, but it was late, so I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
It's 2 units,
2 units, correct.
2019? Okay, my recommendation is that we waive the late fee for both units. You can register both of them at the conclusion of today's meeting at a cost of $5 per unit. If you wish to hang around, stay around till then, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll concur. Item double E, rental registration hearing on property located at 6410 Maryland Avenue and 4232 Dearborn Avenue. Is the owner here?
Okay, we can attack 6410 Maryland first. This is one unit. It was registered previous. Mr. Carrillo purchased it in 2016. As I said, it was registered previous, and he was able to register for 2019. He did not register for 2018. So for 6410 Maryland, we are looking one unit for 2018.
No other issues again?
No issues.
Okay, I'm going to recommend that we waive the late fee for the one unit for 6410 Maryland for the year of 2018, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And I'll concur.
for 4232 Dearborn. This is 2 units, registered previous as the address before, and for 2019. So we are looking for 2 units for 2018.
2018?
Correct.
Okay. My recommendation is that we waive the late fee for 4232 Dearborn, and at a cost of, they have to register for 2018 at a cost of $5 per unit.
And I'll concur. Item FF, rental registration hearing on property located at 5512 Beale Avenue. Mr. Gallegos?
Mr. Gallegos? Okay, we have an interesting situation here. In 2017, Mr. Gallegos appeared for rental registration between 2013 and 2016. Late fees were not waived at the time for a total of $2,170. That took place in July of 2017. We got notice that the homeowner appealed for his 2018 registered rental, which he owes, but we do not have anything on record that he paid the $2,170. We sent it to Smith Sursick, and there is no record for him paying that money. So, my recommendation is to fine him again for 2018, and we will continue to see if any payment was made for that, for those previous years.
Is this a 1 unit? Is this a house?
This is 1 unit, correct?
And it's only for 18, right, 2000?
Right, correct.
Okay, our recommendation is that we apply the late fee at a cost of $500 to the 25512 Beale Street for 2018 for 1 unit.
And I'll concur. Item GG, rental registration hearing on property located at 6530 California Avenue. Mr. Hendricks?
I bought it last summer on contract, and I wasn't sure if I was going to rent it. I eventually did. I don't really have a good excuse other than the guy had to get it, read the contract filed. And then it was coming up on, you guys were going to do it anyways, and like I said, kind of just slipped through the cracks, because I bought it mid-year. I've never been late on one before.
Do you have other properties here in the city?
Yeah.
How many?
Oh, like 6.
What's the name of the company you operate under?
I don't really have a company, just my name.
You can, I want you to speak
Oh,
up. so-
just my name. But I've never been late before, just so.
What's your name, sir?
Hendricks, Randall Hendricks. So if you want to, whatever you got to do. Basically, it was coming up on April as well, I'll just do it when I do that. And they kind of said, well, you should have done it, so.
Mr. Hendricks, do you own 2738 Kenwood as well?
Yes.
Speak up.
Oh, yes.
Is that registered?
No, but I live in that one right now.
I'm sorry?
No, but I'm living in that one at the moment.
You're living in it?
Yeah,
It's a 1 unit?
yeah.
Okay. Jaime, do you know about that one? 2738?
It just came up, Kelly and I were talking about it a few weeks ago. We did have something out. We have issues with cars there.
Okay.
We have issues with cars on your properties. That's something I would like to discuss with you.
Okay.
I mean, what do
I'd
you?
recommend we defer this until Mr. Prieto can have a discussion with Mr. Hendricks on all his properties, so we feel comfortable that everything's squared away.
Okay.
I'm not saying we won't grant his request, but I think we need to have a discussion with him on all his properties.
I'm going to recommend that we defer this action, defer action till July 11th, 2019, so that we can get some more information.
And I'll concur. Item HH, rental registration hearing on property located at 4609 Pine Avenue.
State your name.
Nombre. Marilyn Cepeda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, well, this is one unit, Waverly. When did you purchase the property?
2015.
2015. Okay, did you register at that time?
Lo registramos hace tiempo.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, so in 2015, a Board of Works decision dated July 23rd of 15 owes $5 for one unit. It was, the late fee was waived. She did register after that, except for 2019. So this is one unit for 2019,
And what was the year that it was waived?
in 2015.
Okay, what happened this year?
She wasn't able to make it. She came, but she came when the building closed. She got out of work late, so and the traffic was pretty tough. So, and we live all the way in Cicero, Illinois.
And what day did she come?
¿Qué día viniste?
¿Qué día? Ay, no recuerdo. El día 15 de esa fecha, que es el último día que para pagar.
The 15th of 15 April.
She came at the last day of actually registering for.
No pude venir antes.
She wasn't able to come before because she had to be at work.
And you bought the property in 2015. Was there an issue in 15?
There, in 2015, do you know the date? ¿Sabe la fecha cuando compró la casa?
Noviembre.
Noviembre 2015.
Ajá, entonces noviembre.
Okay, so that is correct then. So the late fee was assessed to the previous owner. She purchased it in November.
So she's never had one waived then?
She's never had one waived. No, this was, I was looking at different notes. She's never had one waived. She purchased it in November 2015. The previous owner had it waived July of 2016.
Okay, so this is for one unit for what
One
year,
unit.
2019, correct?
Correct.
Okay, my recommendation is that we waive the late fee. You might want to let her know just not to wait till the last day because there's traffic sometimes. So you can register at a cost of $5 per unit at the end of the meeting today.
I'll concur.
Fine, right?
Just a reminder. Maybe you can also mention it for any landlord here. You can also mail that in, and it's online, so.
Puede agarrar la registración por internet, lo puede mandar por correo. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, item II, rental registration hearing on properties located at 7514 Jackson Avenue, 6604 Jackson Avenue, 414 Florence Street, 7205 Holman Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Carla Cruz, and unfortunately, you felt correct. I thought my husband took care of it, and he thought I took care of him, and we figured out on the date that was due, I asked him, we were sleeping on the bed, I said, did you take care of that for me? He said, what do you mean? You know, the rent registration, we waited until last minute. So he's like, no, I thought you did it. I said, no, I didn't do it. So as soon as the following day, which April 16, I came and I asked him, we forgot. So they told me that I needed to show up here because it was late. Never been late. I'm a responsible person, especially when you have few properties. I don't want to pay $500, to be honest with you. It won't happen again. We have 4 months to pay for it, and I shouldn't wait last day. So that's what's going on. And I work too much, so it's like time goes by so fast.
7514 Jackson, this is 3 units and only owes for 2019. As registered previous. Okay. 6604 Jackson, this is 1 unit, only owes for 2019. 414 Florence, 1 unit, only owes for 2019. And 7205
My recommendation then is that we waive the late fees for the properties. Just please keep in mind, don't wait till the last.
No, I know, it's embarrassing. You have 4 months to pay for it, and it's only $5.
Okay,
It's
so
like,
we're gonna waive the late fees. You can register each unit at the conclusion of today's meeting at a cost
Will
of
do.
$5 per unit, okay?
thank you so much. Won't happen again.
I'll concur.
Five units.
I think I put the total amount of units.
Okay.
The total amount I will.
Gotcha, okay. 6.
Item JJ, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearings.
What day?
September 12th.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend that we set those hearings for September 12th, 2019.
And I'll concur with that. Item KK, correspondence received from Downtown Hammond Council requesting no parking signs be posted from Friday, June 14, 2019 at 8 p.m. to June 15, 2019 at 10 p.m. for the Eat, Shop, and Rock Festival. And I believe Public Works, have they been notified that they're to do this, or we're gonna notify them? Okay.
Board of Works, EMA, and Police Department? You don't do any, you don't?
No, I think they're just talking about, they want no parking signs put
Okay,
up.
so
I
just
think
Board of
everything
Works?
else has been approved.
Okay. I'll recommend that we send this to the Board of Works for their approval.
No,
Public
the
Works, sorry.
Public
Yeah,
Works.
Public Works.
And I'll concur. Item LL, correspondence received from Mr. Gus Marino, 6735 Rhode Island Avenue, requesting permission to hold a block party on July 4th, 2019, with street closure at 167th Street and Rhode Island Avenue with petition of resident signatures.
I'm going to recommend that we approve Mr. Marino's request.
Does Petey need to be aware of that?
I could probably forward it for those units out there. I'm going to recommend that we forward it to PD just so they're aware of it.
I mean, they're not asking
No,
for anything
no.
from the city.
Just so we're aware of it, though,
Okay.
just in case somebody calls in.
Okay. I'm sorry, your recommendation again, sir?
To send it to the police department just for their advisement.
And I'll concur. They're not requesting anything.
Oh, okay. It says with street closures.
I get that. They're not requesting anything.
Oh, okay. Second, thank you.
Item MM, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty requesting officers Daniel Drudge and Michael Rivera receive field training specialty pay effective May 24th, 2019.
I recommend we approve Chief Doty's request.
And I'll concur. Oh my.
Let the garage sales begin.
Yeah, man. Oh. Garage sale permit submitted for approval. Good boy.
We approve them for 18 hours. How much time do they get normally? 48. We want 18 hours. It's a long one, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, these are all good.
That would be different to do one under the light, starting the daytime and going to the nighttime. That would be good.
I recommend that we approve the garage sale permits.
And I'll concur. Matters from other board members. I do have one here. It's construction supervision agreement from Nice Engineering. Mr. Smith, is this something we are going to defer, or are we going to? What's that?
No,
Oh.
this is recommended
you
for
have-
approval. Yes, I think I already signed it.
You did, you
Yes, this is within the budget of that project.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a recommendation, we approve Nee's engineering request.
And I'll concur. Matters from other department heads and/or their representatives? No one? New business? There is none. Old business? There is none. Meetings open to the public. Anyone from the public like to speak?
I'm here because I didn't write a letter I was supposed to. So I have a client who has a rental registration problem. The address of this property is 1319 150th Street. He got a letter setting a hearing for August 1st. Problem is he's trying to sell this house right now and we're trying to clear it up. It's something that concerns the new purchasers of the property, so he asked me to come here. I do have print screens showing he's always paid, well, I have 3 years worth here. And then he,
What we could do about is maybe set it for next week. To let
okay, that would be fine, yeah.
Would that be right with the board? If we set it over for
Sure.
June 20th? This would be for, the address is going to be 1319 150th Street, if you could add that to the agenda.
I just knew the board had to approve that, so I had to come over here and get that done, but thank you.
Yeah.
So we're setting the
Okay.
registration for that.
Yeah.
address for
The
next
one
week.
set for August 1st, we're going to set it on this date next week.
Okay, the rental registration hearing that was initially set for August 1st for 1319 150th Street, I recommend that we set that for June 20th, 2019.
And I'll concur. Thank you. Anyone else from the public? I'll entertain a motion to, recommendation to adjourn, sir.
I will make that recommendation.
And I'll concur. Thank you.
Thank you.